I don't usually like covering dramas, but this is something that's kind of something that I looked into and I realized just how interestingly bad this is. So we know who Fnm04 is, pretty popular showcaser, and he released a document on the June 16th. And now we're wondering, how much days am I late? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 days late. That's pretty fine. And I clicked on this document to kind of read what it says, and it's all about releasing, private copies of Injury, Banshee, all that kind of stuff. So ruining the expectation of it's got to be something that you're gonna see as the verification. Now it's out. Everyone knows what the ending looks like. There's hundreds of copies now on the GD servers, and I understand that mental health can be a bad thing, but I don't ever see somebody going out of their way to, instead of doing like you wanted to self harm to an extent as I could, but this sentence and this should not belong in the same sheet. Who the fuck is Anonymous Hyena? Does not make sense why this and this have to be in the same sentence. And yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense. Like, I'm sorry for the people who trusted me and kept those copies safe, especially to everyone who's working on Banshee, all that kind of stuff. Where he's talking about like he's ruined his online reputation, he understands it, he's going to be less active online. Makes sense. Everyone makes mistakes and then they proceed to kind of do this once in a while where they're going to go and look at this and then be like, yeah, I'll forgive him. But if this was the first time, it would make sense. I don't know how legit any of this is, so take everything that I say with, you know, the take this with as much salt as possible, because I have seen not only on Twitter but a lot of speculations that whatever Fnm04 did with both Just a GD player and Nero kind of make it seem like it's interesting, because exposing Just a GD player for being a child lover and then it at the end saying that it was all a false accusation, which I kind of don't understand where that accusation came from in the first place. Because the first ever interaction I had with Just a GD player was 3 years ago when I made like a Zaf Kill versus Carolize song video, and I used like just a still image of the thumbnails, and he was in my comment section saying like, "Hey, you can use my videos, you can use my stuff like that. Just credit me in the description." I said, "I'll think about it." And it's the first and last time I've ever interacted with him, which is interesting because that was before I became TKing on YouTube. But it doesn't make sense. This whole doc does not make sense to me. I understand. He's always says there's no apology for excuse actions and I take responsibility. You'd never take responsibility. You've done this way too much times. Going back on this, what even is this? I swear to God, this is another fucking doxing stuff type. Oh, it doesn't exist. Nice. So it's all about Abu doing erotic roleplay. Oh damn, he actually did something interesting. Who ended up being 12 at the time, was also a furry, asked me for hugs repeatedly. I'm just obligated, that was it. Will I do that now? No. I think it'd be pretty stupid. Really. So now you think it's bad. Okay, nice. Seen this around before. The fan ended up hating me because I stopped talking to them, and yeah, I can kind of agree because he kind of just became less responsive on anything, and it's fine. You get big enough, you don't respond to people. I'm not saying that I'm also a perfect person or a perfect YouTuber, but I don't think that what he's doing now, this doc, not even you don't even have the audacity to call the fucking document. It's just untitled document. What the fuck? I just noticing this. I have never interacted with an illegal age gap. I'm not someone who takes advantage of a child. I don't see how that can be attractive. Dude, I can imagine him looking back at this doc some years later on when something actually like this happens. That would be actually insane. because I'm not gonna point any fingers, but all of this happened right after he publicly became a furry, which is a little bit too good to be true. It's whenever somebody becomes somebody else or decides to change is when something horrible goes wrong. He was fine. He wasn't in any drama. After he kind of made being a furry kind of more of his thing, all of these allegations just came up, and it doesn't make sense. Like now, out of all that, and that's it. And I'm not using that as an excuse and explanation. Nice. Okay. Has he responded to anything else? Yeah. The person that exotic with roleplay was 12, bro. That's crazy. Just apologizing privately next time. The whole mental thing is and stuff we all need. It's true. It is something that nobody really needs. It just doesn't make sense because it's not something that you're gonna care. Oh, nice. It's not something that you're gonna care about at the end of the day, give or take. But yeah, though I don't think that anything that he did was justified or anything that's bad. But I still think it's ridiculously weird to blame it on mental health, even though this is something that you kind of did to yourself. Calling Nero weird person or attacking him because he uploaded levels before you or somebody doing it faster than you doesn't make them a bad person. They were just faster at that. You can't blame people. Okay, my videos have like a cooked schedule. If they come out, they come out. If they don't, they don't. That's pretty much it. But if you plan on attacking me because I talk about Fnm04 situation, be sure ahead to do it. And Fnm's not gonna watch this because he's off the internet. But if you do, don't do this shit. We understand. Like it doesn't make sense. Why do I gotta say don't do this if you already did this? Just don't blame it on mental health. Don't blame it on just blame it on the fact that you were ridiculously stupid at the time. You did it, what you did, severely deal with the consequence. Don't go out of your way to just say yeah, I did it because I was in a bad mental state. That's like saying I did it because I wanted to talk to a child and I'm in a very bad mental state. That does not work. That's not how you should do it. Who am I to say, bro? My most of the video is a showcase. But yeah, I hate when somebody you respect and watch for a long time just becomes this person that just leaks and does everything bad. It's becoming so bad. Like I want to be happy for people's successes, but now it's like I can't be happy for anyone's success anymore.